Hello.
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 What's up,
Oh,
baby?
it's a little. Okay, I think we're good now. Are we good now?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think we're good now. Yes.
What is going on?
Nothing much. What's going on with you? Your brothers are listening to some.
Japanese. We got your name playing in the background.
Oh yes. So if you hear a party in the background, that's because there is one.
It's a very sad party, I'd say.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about some small pieces of news here, and then we'll get into some big news that happened.
Okay.
Although this is kind of considered big as well. But the Oscar nominations for the 92nd Academy Awards were released.
Yeah.
And what did you think?
Let's put it this way.
Yes.
Mark said something, and I think he nailed it for me.
Yeah.
He's like, they made it seem like only 8 films came out this year.
That is true. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
I think that's pretty much where I stand. I feel like it's kind of, as per usual, kind of lacking diversity. Although they do have, like, some very interesting picks for the big picture, or the best picture.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have, like, just kind of left field picks that I just don't really think fit. Like Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
There's always those few options where it seems like they just ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, fuck it.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I'm not necessarily upset over any of the picks that were nominated. Like, here are the Best Picture nominees. Of course, we got 1917, Ford v Ferrari, which I didn't see, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, Englishman. I'm sorry, oh my god. The Irishman.
Oh.
The Irishman, Little Women, Jojo Rabbit, and Marriage Story.
Yeah.
So
Jojo Rabbit's another weird choice.
Is that a weird choice, though?
I kind of think so.
It seemed kind of like a really Oscar baity kind of film.
Really? See,
from the trailers.
I thought
I didn't
just
see
kind of
it.
looked like a cute, kind of like Hunt for the Wildebeest kind of like movie. Except for, okay, it does have a tie into like World War II, but like it's still kind of like that cute, cuddly like indie film.
Yeah. I didn't see Ford v Ferrari, but I know it got really good reviews. But I know you didn't like it.
It wasn't my favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
that
like basic chauvinism.
Even though that film was heavily praised by critics and stuff, it is kind of a left field because no one was talking about it. Even though it got good reviews, no one was talking.
I mean, just because it got good reviews, I think it's like 84% or whatever. But I'm sure that the score itself is probably like 6-7 region. Probably like they liked it, but they didn't like love it.
That's the thing. Yeah. What is there a film that you would? All right, so which out of these films would you take out, and are there any
Ford
that
v
you would?
Ferrari.
Okay, so you'd take out Ford v Ferrari, and is there anything you would replace it with? I got one.
See, it's weird because like I don't know what I would replace it with out of movies that I have seen, but like there's so many fucking movies that got talked about that like would seem like an interesting choice, like Transit, which people are saying is like the next like or the new like Casablanca.
Really?
I mean, I haven't seen it yet. It's on Amazon Prime, so
Oh damn! I never even heard of this film.
it came out I think earlier this year.
Huh?
Anyway, I don't know. I really don't know from my stuff. Give me a minute. You go ahead.
And even though I haven't seen Ford v Ferrari, I would substitute that one out for Uncut Gems. I think Uncut Gems would have been a better.
Dude, that movie got robbed. Where the fuck is Adam Sandler at?
I know. That's what everyone's pissed about. They're calling him the biggest snub, and I completely agree.
I thought about that too. Yeah. That is a good one. I don't know. I'm still pulling on my list. Yeah, no, I might have to agree with you. That's a really solid choice.
Yeah, that movie got no love, and that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd want something like Avengers Endgame up there, but I'm trying to be realistic for the Oscars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're not gonna do that, which is some bullshit. But
yeah,
got nominated for fucking special effects, and that's it. And you know what? It's gonna lose to it. It's gonna lose to like fucking. It's gonna lose to like Two Popes or something like. Something like random, like
something that has like one scene.
Exactly, like some one scene. It's gonna get robbed, dude. So for best actor though, we got Jonathan Pryce, Two Popes, Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't see Pain and Glory. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Yeah, the only thing that like we said, Adam Sandler I think should be in there. I don't really know what I'd replace him with because I think those just two movies on there that I haven't seen. I haven't seen Two Popes.
Two Popes is pretty good. I reviewed it on here.
The acting is good in it?
The acting is good. It is good, but the movie, I put it as an honorable mention because, like I said, not to repeat history, but like I thought the movie kind of grinds to a halt to shove this like political message down your throat that doesn't really make it's just not really even part of the story at all.
Yeah,
it was very strange.
Until you brought it up on your list, I had never even heard of this movie.
Oh, really?
Not at all.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a decent movie, but I don't know if it's I don't know if it's best picture worthy. Or I mean, sorry, best actor worthy. Speaking of best actor and actress, we got some interest. Now here's some interesting. Obviously, we got Scarlett Johansson, who, by the way, she's also nominated for actress and supporting actress for 2 different movies. I saw that. That's kind of what if she wins both?
That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
That'd be crazy. That'd be the first. That'd be a first.
That would be a first, and Oscars love doing their first, so that might affect my pick. You know, because they love that shit. Charlize Theron for Bombshell. Renee Zellweger for Judy. Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Scarlett Johansson Marriage Story, and Saoirse Ronan for Little Women.
I think we're just Renee. Well, I mean, we're not talking about who.
No, but yeah, but I think Renee Zellweger is gonna get it for sure. Even though I didn't see that movie, but yeah,
probably. Interesting choices there. I just saw Little Women.
How was it?
Fucking so. It would have been my number 2.
Really?
Yeah, it's that good. I love it so much. It's so cuddly.
Damn. All right. Yeah, because I wanted to see it, but I just didn't get a chance.
It's so wholesome.
Here's the ones that really kind of threw me through a loop. And this is the hardest one when we were doing our Oscar picks for our Oscar special. This is the one that I still am I just don't know. Because the Golden Globes really fucked me up with this one.
Okay.
Best Animated Feature. We got How to Train Your Dragon 3, Toy Story 4, Missing Link, and then the 2 crazy ones are Klaus, which is like that Christmas film on Netflix, and I Lost My Body, which, by the way, I did see it.
Oh, did you?
I did. I watched it a couple days after our list, actually, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have watched this, because it would have been in my top 10, for sure. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
So this is the one where I'm just like, I just don't know. I mean, Missing Link won the Golden Globe.
That's... Really?
Yeah. So it's like
that's the
they were so shocked too.
Who's is that the one with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, it's like the claymation Leica film.
What the fuck?
They were so shocked. You should look up their reaction. They did not think they were gonna win that award.
Yeah.
They were like, "What?
Dang." Huh.
So.
Did not know that it was getting that much love.
Yeah, me neither.
Take a swig real
Take
quick.
that swig. Yeah, so this is the one I legitimately... this is the hardest category for me. I'm just like... I have no idea which one is going to win. I think it might be one of the more obvious choices.
Like Toy Story 4.
Like Toy Story 4, but it's like you never know, man.
Yeah.
Frozen got... Some people are saying Frozen 2 got snubbed. What do you think? I didn't see
it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
No, I got you. Let's talk about Best Director real quick while we're here, and then we'll move on.
Best Director.
Yes.
That one I don't...
Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Todd Phillips, Joker. Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Martin Scorsese, The Irishman. And Sam Mendes, 1917.
I have no fucking clue who's going to win that.
Oh, I think I know.
You think you know?
I do. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I won't tell you who.
I feel like there's 3, like, really decent options, and then there's 2 that's like, okay, I could see it. Well, no, there's one that I don't think I can see. I don't
think Todd Phillips is going to get it. I just don't.
I was going to say, I don't think Quentin Tarantino is going to get it.
Really?
No.
I think those are the 2 that I'm like, nah, they're at my bottom. I'm like, there's just no way, to be honest with you. Bong Joon-ho I don't know. They don't really give Best Director to. I don't know.
Yeah, they usually get robbed.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Speaking of Best Foreign Language Film, have you seen any of these?
No.
All right, then we'll move on. Is there any other category that you would want to talk about?
Not that I can remember.
Cinematography, adapted screenplay, original screenplay.
I mean, come on, cinematography, that's the easy one.
Oh, yeah, that's
in the bag.
Yeah, we already know.
There's no way.
We already know. Unless he gets robbed, which he shouldn't. See, the thing is, like, because he won last year, right?
Yeah.
So
no, was it 2 years ago? Blade Runner?
Runner?
That was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years? Who won last year?
Shit.
I don't even know.
See, every time I think about 2019 Oscars, I only think about The Green Book.
I know, right?
Everything else, like, I completely forgot.
I know. But there's some really good options in here, but we know who's going to get it. Let me go. But yeah, so those are the Oscars. Pretty cool. I wasn't really too upset. I think Joker and 1917 are leading the nominations with the most nominations.
Yeah.
I know Joker had 11 nominations, and I can't remember how much 1917 had, but I think it was almost the same.
The technical aspects.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Every year has that one movie that just kind of sweeps.
It sweeps the technical stuff, like Mad Max Fury Road that one year, and Gravity. It just sweeps all the technical stuff. Dunkirk, yeah, sweeps all that.
See, I think Dunkirk. It was weird because I think Baby Driver should have won like
editing,
sound mixing.
Yeah, and editing.
The fact that it was edited after the shoot, like during the shoot.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's just nuts, dude. Speaking of Baby Driver, I've been telling Mitch for years to watch Baby Driver.
It's incredible.
For years. And he's had it on DVD because his mom bought it on DVD, and it's just been sitting there. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I'm like, Mitch,
you never know what you're going to try.
I'm like, watch it. He's like, it just didn't look good to me. I'm like, Mitch, watch it. It's amazing. I've been telling him this, dude, for years.
Please tell me he finally watched it.
He watched it, gave it 5 stars on Stardust.
No shit.
And I was just like, I commented on Stardust, and I'm like, I have literally been telling you this for years. Classic Thrillmonger. For years, I was telling him, dude, watch Baby Driver, you love it. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, and finally, I'm like, I told you.
I mean, come on. I feel like we've all been there before.
Yeah. That is true.
It's too much shit. But Baby Driver's too good.
It's so good. All right, so you want to move on to some other stuff? Here's just a little interesting thing. This is causing a little bit of controversy, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Disney is removing Fox. There's no more Fox. Have you heard this?
Honestly, no.
You haven't heard this?
No.
They're removing Fox. So as in like 20th Century Fox? Nope. 20th Century Films now. Fox Searchlight Pictures now. They're removing the word Fox from all of its properties, and it's like,
why?
I don't know, because they want to shit on Rupert Murdoch's legacy, I guess. And
yeah,
I guess so. It honestly makes me a little uncomfortable that they're doing that. I know it's just kind of a dumb thing, but it's like Fox has been a staple in the movie industry since the begining. Yeah. It's like you can't just rename it like there's no more Fox anymore. Well, that's weird.
I mean, things are gonna change like that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it kind of marks like almost a passage of time, but at the same time, like you gotta give tribute to where it started, man.
Yeah. It's just...
At least it'll always be there, just like, you go online, you type in, like, one of those movies or whatever, and you'll still see it or whatever.
That's true. But it's just strange to me, like, why is Disney dropping the Fox? Some people have speculated that they're trying to remove it from maybe the negative connotation that some people hold to that name because of something like Fox News, which is a part of 21st Century Fox, but it's not part of the movie division. It's a completely separate thing.
Yeah.
So it's like... I don't know.
Yeah, what movies have wronged that name? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. But it's like, it's going to be weird to see 20th Century Films. And they said they're still going to keep they're going to keep like the classic Runton.
Oh,
but
it's nostalgic.
Yeah, but instead of 20th Century Fox, it's going to say 20th Century Films. And then Fox Searchlight is now Searchlight Pictures. And it's like... Damn, Disney, what do you... Is this just like a power move? Like, yeah, we bought you, go fuck yourself? Like, I don't know.
That's what it kind of reads like.
I know. This is the thing I'm curious about. What is Disney's purpose? What are they going to do with Fox? Like, because...
I think you're asking the wrong question. I think the question should be, where does it end?
Yes, that's true.
They're just going to keep growing.
That's true.
It's like the Blob.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like... What are you going to do with Fox? Like, because I think what they're going to do is, Disney can't release rated R properties through Disney. They can't do that. Yeah. So they're going to use Fox as that outlet to do it. Like, you can't release Deadpool through Marvel.
You can't, no.
So they're going to release Deadpool as a, I don't even know what to say now, as a Fox film, but it's not a Fox film anymore.
Which one? 21st Century Films?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
So they're going to release it as a 21st Century film. So stupid.
That is a really dumb name.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And but I don't know, man. I just don't know. I feel like because especially Fox Searchlight, which is a big avenue for independent films, now that Disney is a part of that, it's like, are they going to capitalize on the independent films? And now independent films are not really independent films anymore
because they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Disney's gonna manufacture these independent films.
I just hope that they don't lose their essence.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they're gonna do. And also, I was looking up because after this, I was just so curious what Disney owns. It's honestly insane how much crap they own that you didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Like the things they have a stake in, like ESPN. Did you know they're part owners at ESPN?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they got and Disney Plus.
Son of a... What? Dude, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like National Geographic, I didn't know that until Disney Plus. I'm like, wow, I did not know they own National Geographic.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They own... under Fox's animation studio was Blue Sky Studios. So I'm like, what's going to happen to them now? Apparently a statement was released that they were going to keep their jobs. And then I think they brought someone over from Pixar to be the head of Blue Sky Studios. But I don't know if that... I just don't feel like they're going to survive that long.
Probably not.
Because,
or they're just not going to be the same type of movie.
Exactly. Like
they're just going to look like Pixar.
Being that they own Walt Disney Animation and Pixar, it's like, why would they need Blue Sky Studios? Blue Sky is responsible for, like, Ice Age, the Peanuts movie, Rio. You know, those
some real heavy hitters.
Yeah, they're not really heavy hitters, so...
Yeah, I mean... Again, I think it's just like this marks a passage of time when it comes to film.
Exactly. So, that's that.
That's a kind of a... I did not even hear about that.
You didn't hear about that? Yeah.
A little shocked to me.
It's a little messed up. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. There are things that should just always stay the same because they're iconic. And Fox is iconic.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to keep Fox. You know? It's like MGM renaming their shit to, like, Roaring Lion Pictures. You know? It's like, what the fuck?
Just wait until one day somebody's going to be doing a podcast, like, 3,000 years in the future, and they're going to be like, I can't believe they're getting rid of Disney.
I know.
How can you get rid of Disney, man?
Yeah, they're calling it
Mickey Mouse.
They're calling it Mickey Mouse Films now. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, what?
It was absorbed by Amazon. Disney was
oh
absorbed
my
by
God.
Amazon.
Which was absorbed by Apple. No. Oh my God. So, let's talk about some Star Wars. Because we haven't talked about Star Wars in a long time.
A hot minute.
Yeah, that's a sarcasm. Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 script was leaked.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Originally called Duel of the Fates, which...
Great name.
It is way better than Rise of Skywalker,
oh, yeah.
in my opinion. I have the article up here. First of all, 2 scripts versions were released. One being a draft before Carrie Fisher's death and one being a draft after Carrie Fisher's death. I could not find the article for some reason about the final draft because I know that there were actually a lot of changes, but I'm going to try and just remember it. But right now I have the original story of when it broke.
Yeah.
And let's just go through. Let's just go through some of it, shall we?
Yeah.
So, Rey had a new weapon, which I thought would have been cool. Is they were going to take the lightsaber that got blown apart in The Last Jedi, and she was going to modify that into her staff and create a double-bladed lightsaber with it.
That would have been hype.
That would have been so hype. And apparently, in the script, it says it works like a boomerang, where she can throw it, which they kind of did keep.
It already is a boomerang.
It is a boomerang, yeah.
Bring it back.
Exactly. So they kind of kept that in Rise of Skywalker a little bit. But I think that would have been a much cooler thing for her to do. Because it marks... It's about the evolution of the character. And I think that just would have been a nice little touch there. They would have returned to Coruscant in this film. And as a matter of fact, the final battle would have taken place on Coruscant. What do you think about that?
I don't know what Coruscant is.
Oh, really? That's where the Jedi Temple, like from the prequels, was. Like that city.
Oh, okay.
That really, yeah, it says the once vibrant city now looks very different, and the planet has become a stronghold for the First Order. General Hux has become Chancellor Hux and the traitor who helped the Resistance steal that Star Destroyer is executed before him. He then meets with the members of the First Order and a variety of alien warlords who are all too aware that there's a Last Jedi.
Ooh.
So...
You can really see how much I know about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Right, I know, right? But there would have been a couple of other things. One of the coolest things about this, I think, is that I was talking to my friend about it. He didn't like this aspect of it, and they actually did change it in the final draft. Uh-huh. But in this version, there's no redemption for Kylo Ren. He dies a villain, and I think that's really cool. I mean, I don't know. You know, what do you think?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't really have any thoughts on it. I think it could have been done. I don't know. It could be done well. I don't know. But it's like, I hope they just... what I want them to acknowledge, I guess, is like that middle ground. Mm-hmm. That like he was torn. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. And
I think they probably still would have explored that, but I just think it would have been much more interesting than what they did with his character in, Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Because it would have been a really cool exploration to see what they did with him.
I guess what's cool about that is that your bloodline doesn't really determine like where you end up or whatever. Yes. Because, mm-hmm. he becomes a villain, which is not like his parents or whatever. Mm-hmm. He would have forged his own future.
Absolutely. And I think something really cool is that his goal in this film was he was looking for some type of Sith holocron. Mm-hmm. And when he eventually finds it, a hologram of Emperor Palpatine pops up that was meant for Vader, just in case, he was like killed or something like that, and Vader survived. Where he gave him the location of his teacher, which was Tor. It says right here, Tor Valum, who is an alien of unknown origin who is 7,000 years old and reportedly very Lovecraftian in appearance.
That's sick.
Kylo Ren begins training with him, and in a throwback to Empire Strikes Back cave scene, Ren comes face to face with Darth Vader and loses what is described as a brutal battle between them. Which would have been fucking awesome to see.
Yeah.
It would have been awesome to see. Dang, so that's really cool. Here's an interesting thing right here. Poe and Rey are actually a couple.
Poe and Rey?
Poe and Rey are a couple in this script. And they actually engage in a lightsaber battle with the Knights of Ren and are ultimately victorious. So even in this script, the Knights of Ren were bullshit. Like, they weren't anything, even in this script. So I guess you can't change everything, right? Yeah. But that's funny, because in the final draft, that changes completely. And we'll get to that in a second, because that's one thing I do remember. The final battle just would have been on Coruscant with some really cool images like Chewbacca flying an X-Wing. Rey and Kylo battle on Mortis, using Force energy to pull from one another, because Tor Valum because he's a 7,000-year-old Sith, he taught Kylo Ren how to suck the life force out of people using the Force. Okay. And then Kylo Ren eventually uses that on Tor Valum and kills him. And then it's kind of like a battle between Rey and Kylo Ren at the very end. Rather than, like in Rise of Skywalker, I think they kind of used that, but they used it very weirdly, where the Emperor was just sucking the life force out of him, like out of nowhere. Yeah. It would have made more sense for this like ancient Sith Lord to know how to do that. And also, I don't know if it was this draft or the other draft, but Kylo Ren asks Tor Valum, "What are you, Darth Plagueis?" And his response, apparently, according to the script, was, "I don't know what that means."
Which, great answer. I like that a lot.
Me too. I think that would have been very cool. But then why they probably didn't do that is because one of the many reasons is like, but the fans already expect Darth Plagueis to be a real guy. It's like, we already tried subverting the expectations. We can't do that anymore. They didn't want to take risks.
Well, I mean, it really wouldn't have fit into what they ended up with anyway.
Right. So there's a final battle on Coruscant, and this is the one thing I do not like about this version, I will say. Okay. There's a couple things in this version I'm like, I'm glad they didn't utilize this. In this version, and actually in the final draft, it was actually Kylo Ren who killed Rey's parents. And that doesn't make sense, because they're like the same age. So it's like, what? What? And apparently he did it at the behest of Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did he kill her parents? That's very strange. Doesn't make much sense.
Are they supposed to be the same age?
I mean, I think so. I mean, they can't be that. They can't be that old.
Like real life, they're like 13 years apart.
I mean, yeah, but
or not 13, but whatever.
I mean, maybe if they were 10 years apart, let's just say. So he was 20, she was 20, he's 30 in the movies. How old do you think she was when she was like 7? So I guess he could have been 17. And did it. Yeah. I guess.
He looks like he was like around, like a little bit younger than that when he fought with Luke or whatever.
Oh yeah, in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true. But I just think I think it's just a little strange.
Fundamentally, you don't think it's like a good idea?
No, because it's like, okay, everyone's connected now. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, like he killed your parents and all that.
The only thing that kind of makes sense about it is the fact that he knew who they were.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That is true. Yeah, you're right. Because in The Last Jedi, he knew.
Like, you knew it all along.
Yeah, that's true. Damn. Yeah, I guess maybe that's not a bad idea. But during the final battle, the Force ghosts of Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda ultimately appear to try and save Ben, but are unsuccessful, and he's eventually extinguished, is what the script put. But they don't understand. Like, the person writing the article says he doesn't fully understand what that means. But yeah, so they basically kill him, I guess. I don't know. But there were clearly no plans for the villain to find any redemption in this script. So
I like it a lot more.
Yes, and one thing is that in the original script, R2 would have like stored a bunch of memories from the original trilogy, and at the very end of the movie, as a kind of love, like a send off to the Skywalker saga, Leia was supposed to kind of tap on R2 or whatever, and then unlock all these memories, and then like a bunch of holograms of like memories of the original trilogy pop up, and like yeah.
I like this a lot more. Again, like,
I know, me too.
This could have been done way worse than that.
And you know what? The best fucking part about this script and the final draft? Huh.
Bless you.
The final draft is Rey is just a fucking person.
Yeah.
And she actually finds out her real name in these scripts, which is Rey Saldana.
Yes.
Yes, she's just a person.
This sounds great.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck was this? Rey Palpatine. No.
Honestly, this version of it kind of sounds like a fan version. Like
I know,
somebody
right?
who actually likes the fucking movies.
I know. I don't know why. I honestly do not know why they didn't really go through with this. I'm not. I think they just got scared. But there's a couple other things in here. There's a Bosk cameo, apparently, which is pretty cool. I think Rose and Finn are a couple, which I guess would make sense.
Kind of, yeah.
And apparently, let me see if it's this version or the next version. Yes. Okay, so that was that version. I'm going to try and remember the final draft version of this, okay? Because the differences. There's only one real huge one that I remember, which was, I think Disney came down on Colin Trevorrow and were like, you can't do this to Ben Solo. You can't do this to Kylo Ren. He has to have some type of redemption. So they actually did add another villain, which was, believe it or not, the Knights of Ren. There would have been... it's so weird how the Knights of Ren were nobody and they became somebody. So in the final draft, or in a later draft, one of the members, who was actually a woman, of the Knights of Ren would have turned against Kylo Ren because they were all like in disagreement with his leadership and what they were doing. So they would have like did a mutiny against him, and then she would have became the main villain of that movie, and and stuff like that. So that's the thing I'm trying. That's the one thing that I really
don't really like that as much.
Yeah. But there is something really cool about the final draft. One small change is that in the end, because of Carrie Fisher's death, instead of Leia viewing all the memories from R2 actually would have been destroyed in this movie, like straight up, like cut in half or something by a lightsaber. I don't know.
Damn.
And at the end, they were trying to repair him, and Lando was the one who clicked the button, and then all the memories of the original trilogy were.
Why you gotta do R2 like that?
I know, right? Oh, so sad.
He's not a frontline fighter.
I know, right? Fuck it. Oh, it's so sad. But that's the one thing I really remember from this. For some reason I can't really find the article, but that was one of the big things. Another thing was that Kylo Ren was led to a temple to where like he for some reason there was a legend there that if he went to this Sith temple, this ancient Sith temple, that he would have gotten the ultimate power and like would have became the ultimate Sith type thing. Uh-huh. And then him and Rey, like Rey's chasing him, trying to not get him to the temple or whatever because she doesn't want him to get like this like immense power. And he opens the temple finally. He wins the battle, opens the temple, and nothing's there. It's just a ruin. And then that's kind of when his redemption starts because he realizes that his journey has been fruitless and stuff like that. That's what I can remember. Also, I remember that in this version, there was actually an epilogue to where Finn and Rey and Poe are still a couple in this draft, but Finn has more to do. And Finn and Rey are actually the ones teaching a new generation of Jedi at the very, very end, like as an epilogue.
Yeah,
so,
which is kind of cool because I feel like Finn kind of got shafted.
He did. It was really cool. Hey, we should call him Jake. Hey, Jake!
Got you.
Call him Jake. What? We want to ask you something on the podcast. Jake. There he is. So Jake.
Yeah.
You're a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, I like Star Wars.
We were just talking about Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 script that got leaked. Have you read anything about it?
No, I don't know anything about it.
You know anything about it?
No.
Holy shit.
Okay, I'm going to try and just run down here. So the script was called Duel of the Fates. This was by Colin Trevorrow before he got fired.
Okay.
So there were 2 drafts that got leaked. The version before Carrie Fisher passed away and then a final draft after. So the original script would have been called Duel of the Fates, and it would have been very different. Rey would have gotten a new double-bladed lightsaber that she built out of the one that got torn apart in Last Jedi.
Okay.
There would have been a return to Coruscant, where actually the First Order kind of took over Coruscant, and that's where the final battle would have taken place.
Okay.
Kylo Ren is basically on a mission to become almost the ultimate Sith, and he finds an ancient Sith temple where he finds an old Sith holocron, and he opens it to reveal a message from Emperor Palpatine that was meant for Darth Vader as a contingency plan, just in case anything happened to him and Vader was still alive. And he said to go to his teacher, Tor Valum, who is this ancient Sith Lord, and to go teach him the ways of the Sith. So then Kylo Ren goes to visit Tor Valum on this ancient Sith planet, and they said in the article that it's kind of described as like almost a dark version of the Empire Strikes Back teaching of Luke and Yoda.
Okay.
Where Tor Valum also gives Kylo Ren a Sith vision where he fights Darth Vader, but gets beaten down brutally by Darth Vader.
Just gets shit rocked by Darth Vader.
He just gets shit rocked by Darth Vader. And Tor Valum is apparently a 7,000-year-old ancient Sith, Lovecraftian type villain. And in this script or the final script, I can't remember which one, but in one of the scripts, Kylo Ren asks him, "Are you Darth Plagueis?" And his answer is, "I don't know what that is." He's like, "I don't know what that means."
What?
Which would have implied that the Emperor lied about that story to Anakin. What do you think about that?
That would be nuts.
That would have been nuts.
That would be nuts, dude.
It's crazy.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, dude, if Darth Plagueis was fucking not real,
Disney
holy shit.
Balls, bro.
And Disney's a coward.
For sure.
He's a coward.
So, here's another thing. Poe and Rey are actually a couple in this movie.
Poe and Rey?
Poe and Rey, yeah.
Okay.
And I think Finn and Rose are also a couple in this.
I was gonna say, Finn gets fucked no matter what.
Yeah, no, right? I think Finn and Rose are a couple. The final, and I'm jumping all over the place. There's obviously a lot more in between. But the final battle would have had, it would have been on Coruscant with the First Order fighting the Resistance, and Chewbacca would have ended up flying an X-Wing. And then during the... Sorry, one second. Oh, during his training with Tor Valum taught Kylo Ren how to suck the life force out of people, which would make sense because he's a 7,000-year-old ancient Sith Lord, whereas Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker just knew how to do it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So he taught Kylo Ren how to do that, and then Kylo Ren turned on Tor and like removed the life force out of him, and then so there's kind of like a back and forth.
Kylo Ren likes killing his teachers.
He really does. He really does. He really does. Okay, so it says right here, during the fight, Ren reveals that he killed Rey's parents at the behest of Supreme Leader Snoke.
Wait, what? How much older is Kylo Ren than Rey?
That's exactly what I said. That is exactly what I
that's
said.
what
I said that doesn't really make sense
Is he,
because
like-
aren't they the same age?
He can't be more than like 10 years older than her.
That's what I said. I said if at most it was 10 years older than her, how old was she when she got abandoned? Like 7 maybe?
She looked like she was like 10 or like younger
10, so he would have been like 20
at most.
at most, maybe? I guess it
I
could
guess
work.
yes, that fit.
How old's Anakin?
He's 10 or like I think he's 8 or 10.
Yeah, something like that.
And
Padme's like older than him.
Yeah.
Padme's like 14
Okay.
or
Yeah.
15, and in episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
How
and
old is
then
he in episode
Attack of the
2?
Clones. I think he's got to be 18. Right?
18?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if he wasn't 18.
Yeah, that's very true. So
Because she's definitely not 18.
and then
He acts like he's
and then
18,
T-Kettle
or, like,
mentioned-
he acts like he's fucking 50.
Yeah,
I know, right? And then T-Kettle mentioned that it actually kind of would make sense because he knew who Rey's parents were.
He's like,
In the
you know
Last
the
Jedi.
truth. They're just nothing.
Yeah. Nothing, because I fucking yanked him, baby.
That's right. So during the fight, the Force ghosts of Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda would have ultimately appeared to try and save Ben, but are unsuccessful, and Ben is ultimately extinguished, is what the script said, but the article said they don't exactly know what that means. But there were clearly no plans for redemption for Kylo Ren in this story. What do you think of that?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Kylo Ren just being a fucking bag of shit the entire time.
It's a bag of
Bag of
shit.
shit.
Damn, that's so much different.
Yes, and then at the very end, this is the script before Carrie Fisher passed away. She would have been in the later script, which might have also been in this script. R2 gets like blown up, like like sliced in half by a lightsaber, like something.
No.
And then at the end, they're trying to rebuild him, and then they activate something, and then a bunch of holograms pop up of memories of the original trilogy. So it was originally Leia was supposed to like look at all these holograms of these memories of the original trilogy, with like all of them together and stuff. In the final draft, they changed it to be Lando, but ultimately it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, which was kind of like a final goodbye, like to the whole series.
Yeah.
And at the very, very end, as like an epilogue, in the final draft at least, Finn and Rey are actually seen teaching a new generation of Jedi. So
There you go. That's better than her just burying some lightsabers in a hole in the ground on a planet that Luke literally hates.
and here's the thing I like about this film, both versions. Rey is not connected to anybody.
I know. Honestly,
Yes.
that's probably one of my
And-
biggest problems with the movie.
And they actually reveal her real name, which was Rey Saldana.
Rey Saldana.
Yeah.
I like that.
And she was that was her name. Rey Saldana. And she was not Rey Palpatine or Rey Skywalker.
Rey Skywalker.
Yeah, no. She was Rey Saldana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think bringing Palpatine back is on. Like, I've continued to ruminate since the podcast that we did for it. And the more like time that passes, the more I think that introducing Palpatine back was a bigger mistake than I ever could have realized.
You know, someone said, and I couldn't agree more. They said that having Palpatine as the big bad in the third one is almost like Vader revealing he's Luke's father in Return of the Jedi. It just wouldn't work. You know?
Yeah, you fucking waited to the last movie. No one's gonna buy that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, oh, how convenient. Fucking, you're his dad.
Yeah.
Wow,
right.
fucking asshole. Like in the throne room, he's like, Luke.
Like as he's dying, like
Yeah, as he's dying.
he cuts off his hand.
He's like,
and he's about to
I
kill
feel
him.
bad now.
Yeah.
Oh, but
The
Dad.
audience feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it wouldn't have worked. So, do you think this version would have ended up being better than our final result?
Probably. It's hard to say. You never know. Like,
That's true.
a script, you can have a good script and still fuck it up. So.
True. I think this would have been, honestly, even though, let's say it might not have been the best thing ever, I think it would have been more focused than
Oh,
Rise of
100%. It
Skywalker.
sounds like it sounds like there was a better plan going into
because
this at least.
it feels like they scrapped this completely and just started from scratch once the backlash from Last Jedi happened.
Yeah, I think it's so. The
You know?
whole like new trilogy saga at Disney must have been the weirdest thing ever.
I know. You know, because, like, I guarantee you that J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, and Colin Trevorrow were probably all in contact with each other. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
You'd hope so.
And, like, stuff like that. Because Colin Trevorrow knew what was going to happen with Last Jedi. And then, like, and then I think they just threw it away once that backlash happened.
So why? Well, how come you didn't end up doing the movie?
They just... Creative differences.
Yeah, it must have just been like, Last
Mm-hmm.
Jedi was such a fucking, like, mess. We have to do all these changes. And he's probably like, no.
No, I like what I have, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they told him that he couldn't do it. Which kind of sucks because, honestly, even though this might not have been the best movie, I think it would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it could be worse.
Yeah, it says right here, Colin Trevorrow left for creative differences.
I think Rise of Skywalker is like the lowest possible like denominator of like quality that movie could have been. Like with all the pieces you had John Williams, you had this amazing cast and crew. For the most, like the production team's great. The special effects artists and all them are insanely talented. And you got I think you got the lowest, fucking the worst version of a Star Wars movie you could have with those pieces.
Yeah,
Like obviously, if you had like a worse cast or like, you didn't have John Williams, like the movie could have been worse.
The thing is that they committed to a release date, and they wanted to honor that release date, which is ridiculous. They should have delayed it like another year or two.
I know you like putting a full big budget like Hollywood movie out every 2 years is tough.
It is, and it's like I feel like fans would have understood if they just delayed it.
Yeah,
and like okay, yeah, try and make it better.
Yeah,
But
delay your shit.
but like the beats of this script, I just wanted to call you in to talk about this script.
No, for sure. No, that sounds awesome. I didn't even know that this came out.
Yeah, dude, just look it up. Two versions of his script were leaked. So, Duel of the Fates.
That's a better name than Rise. Rise of Skywalker is such a dumb name.
I think Duel of Fates would have been much better.
Yeah, it's iconic. One of the best songs in Star Wars.
Yes, and it makes sense because, freaking Vader fights Kylo Ren.
Closes the loop. Episode 1 to all the way 9.
Duel of the Fates is
Yeah.
Banger,
It's so good, dude.
Mm-hmm, it's the best thing about
best
episode
thing
one.
about episode 1. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, so A+.
A plus.
A+. Last thing, if you wanted to keep joining us on here, Jake, is we're going to talk about the Morbius trailer.
Oh, he hasn't seen it.
I have not seen that.
You've not seen it?
Nope. Is it good? Does it look good?
No.
No? Looks bad?
No.
No.
This is Sony's next foray into a Spider-Man-less Spider-Verse.
Oh, they're still doing that shit?
Yes, they are.
What are they doing?
Here's the thing, though. How do you even explain it?
Is he a villain?
In the comic books?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a very D-list Spider-Man.
It's like Jared
villain.
Leto playing like a
Jared Leto.
man
Oh,
bat.
no.
Larry-
Man bat.
Jared
Man
Leto plays Michael Morbius, who in the comics is a guy who's a scientist who has a major blood disease. So he tries to cure his blood disease by using like bat DNA or some shit. And he turns into
A man bat.
basically, I mean, he's not like as creature. He looks more like Dracula than he does Man Bat, but he turns into a vampire basically. And it's honestly weird because Sony is trying so hard to ride Marvel's dick. It's insane. They even put in the trailer, and I'm not kidding, from the studio that brought you Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Venom. And I'm like, maybe remove 2 of those.
Venom made a lot of money.
It did somehow.
China.
Yes.
Yep.
China loved it.
You didn't see it.
No.
Thankfully.
It's bad.
No, I didn't see it.
But this movie looks like it takes place in the same universe as Venom. The cinematography is exactly the same, aka it's 2005 cinematography. It's dark, it's standard, it's stock cinematography.
Why is Jared Leto still making comic book movies? Like, has no one figured that out yet?
I don't know.
To
His
keep him away?
performance in this is a lot more subdued than the Joker, thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
He's
know
very
how it could be,
he's just very calm throughout the whole thing. But it's like it's just strange how it's like Sony is doing their own Marvel universe. But here's where it gets confusing. In the trailer, Michael Morbius walks past a graffitied Spider-Man on the wall, and it says "murderer" across, which is obviously like that's a Far From Home reference, right? Because people think he murdered Mysterio. Right?
Huh.
And here's the even crazier part, Jake. There's leave it to Sony to fucking spoil this shit right in the trailer. There's a cameo at the end of the trailer, and guess who fucking shows up? Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton, shows up.
Wait, what?
Yes, he's in this movie. Most likely portraying the Vulture again.
That's just crazy.
So Sony is literally trying to bank off of the success of the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, well, they can. They have Marvel by the balls.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, like, well, what's Marvel gonna do?
Yeah, they can't do anything about it because
Yeah.
they own those characters. Sony owns those characters.
Yeah.
So they could do whatever they want. So technically, they can say that this is an MCU movie, and that would also include Venom into the MCU technically.
Yeah.
But then Marvel doesn't have to acknowledge it as MCU. So it's very confusing. It makes like
Sony's just like,
Hey,
yeah,
just the tip.
just the tip, baby. And so yeah, Sony's just. I mean, like I said, they can do whatever they want because they have the big stuff. They have Tom Holland, so like you're not gonna ditch Tom Holland.
That's true. You know what I think is going to happen? I think Sony's going to do their own thing. And then I think right now Tom Holland is in contract for one more Spider-Man film. No, 2 more Spider-Man films and 1 more crossover film with Marvel. And they're going to wrap up his MCU story and they're just going to hand him back to Sony and be like, do whatever you want now. Yeah, they're going to be like,
I like
do
him a
whatever you
lot.
want.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Who, Tom Holland?
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Well, that's
I
funny.
don't know. He could be an asshole, but
It's funny that you say that because I just recently worked with someone who worked with Tom Holland.
Really?
Yeah, he was a body double on Cherry that they were filming in Cleveland, Ohio, with the Russo brothers. He said Tom Holland was a major asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
He said that they were at like an army base because apparently it's like an army like veteran type movie, and he said like Tom Holland and his brother especially and like his team were just complete assholes. They wouldn't even talk to the extras, and this is strange, but the guy who I worked with, I won't say his name on here just in case, but he's also an actor, and I was helping out on my friend's set, and in Detroit, and he was like, yeah, he was a huge asshole, and then he said that Tom Holland and his team, whenever you try to talk to him, would like hiss at you. Like a cat. Like whenever you try to talk to him, he'd go like that.
That's unfortunate.
It's very weird, and even my.
Never mind, Sony. You can have him.
Yeah,
Take him.
Even the guy I was.
Get fucked, nerd.
The guy I was working with, he was like, he told him because he would be face to face with Tom Holland, like because he was a body double, so he would like look over Tom Holland, like he would never look Tom Holland in the eye just because he wasn't supporting the way Tom Holland was treating these extras and stuff.
Yeah.
And like he's like. And then he got like hissed at, and he's like, "What the fuck what is this? Like, this is fucking weird."
That sounds weird.
He said the Russo brothers were really nice, though. He said he couldn't really talk to them because they were so busy directing, but he said they seemed really nice.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. And apparently one of the Sony executives came over, or some executive from some studio came over, and was talking to the Russo brothers, or was talking to someone, and the guy who I was working with overheard him and said, this executive, this top big-time movie executive said he's never going to work with Tom Holland or his brother ever again. So...
It's crazy.
It is crazy. He said the only time that was different was they did a raffle with the extras. So whoever won this raffle won like an autograph and a picture with Tom Holland and stuff. But there were cameras there, and as soon as the cameras turned on, Tom Holland was all like, "I'm nice now." Apparently, that's what he said, so...
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Ah!
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But anyway, that Sony's, I don't know what they're doing. They're probably still trying to
They're gonna make money. They're gonna make money with what they're doing.
They're still trying to make their Sinister Six pipe dream happen. Because they want Morbius to be part of the Sinister Six. Because at the end of the trailer, Michael Keaton is like, Michael Morbius, I guess the good guy thing didn't work out for you, huh? And it's like,
Good spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Famous for trailers, man.
I know. Leave it to Sony. But yeah.
So, yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah, it does. It looks really standard and really stock.
That's not surprising. I don't know. That's not surprising. That's like, as soon as you're like, oh, Sony fake MCU movie, I was like, probably that's a miss.
What is up with Sony making these movies that look like they belong in 2005 with Daredevil and Elektra? Like, these movies look like mid-2000s or early 2000s, like, comic book films with Evanescence doing the soundtrack.
I mean, you could say the same thing about, like, Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League too.
Yeah,
but especially Venom and this movie, they just look so early 2000s.
I mean, they just haven't evolved yet, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they just don't they don't understand the Marvel formula.
No. That's why they're trying to leech off of it.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, we're in the MCU too. It's like, are you though?
But you gotta be, it's weird, like, step cousin about it. Like, it just looks weird. It's, like, dark. It doesn't connect at all.
Yeah, you're right though. Sony definitely got Disney by the balls, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do? It's like, oh, you want Spider-Man back? Well, let us use him in Morbius. And they're like, fuck. They're like, fine. You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, no problem.
That's pretty much
I love you.
Love you too, boss.
All right, so that's pretty much it for this podcast.
Yeah.
I believe. So me and T-Kettle have been talking. Right, T-Kettle?
We have been talking.
We've been talking about the future of this podcast. And we have decided in the near future to take an indefinite hiatus.
Yeah.
We're just not... I know this is kind of... We're just springing this on the listeners right here, but we're just not getting the traction that we thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
We have been doing this for more than a year now. And we have over 100 videos on our YouTube channel. And we've been stuck at 23 or 29 or less than 30 subscribers for a year now, most of which are our friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
We were hoping that if we kept uploading with our consistency, that YouTube would eventually notice our consistency and then spread it around their algorithm. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen. And with the amount of the amount of time that we put into this podcast, it doesn't seem very advantageous to us anymore.
Yeah.
To really continue it without any sort of fan base, you know?
Yeah, and it's sad because we do enjoy doing it, and Nico puts in a ton of time in this thing. Like, this is his baby, and it just kind of sucks to see those numbers, man.
Yeah, it really does, and I'm not doing this for the views or anything like that, but at the same time, we do need some type of return on investment, and not monetary investment, but like time investment, you know? For those of you who don't know, I spend like a minimum of like 7 hours a week editing these videos, which is a lot of time that I could be doing something else that I'm a little bit more passionate about, like one of my short films or something like that. And it's like Nico 9 has 360 something subscribers, and I don't want to be a YouTuber or anything like that. I've never had the dream to be like a professional YouTuber, but it's funny how I got this channel that actually kind of does get more views, and that's laying dormant, while this channel, we're uploading so much, yet it's not really getting anything.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how, you know, I put more time and effort into this channel, where it's like I could probably be putting more time and effort into my other channels where I would actually get more views on one video than literally 10 of these videos combined, you know?
Yeah.
And it sucks, though, because we do like doing it, but we might still do our Oscar special, and then that will probably be our last episode for a while, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
What is the Oscars?
I think it's in February.
Yeah, it's not that far away.
Plus, I mean, me and T-Kettle have other creative endeavors that we're always trying to pursue. You're going to film school right now.
Yeah.
Friggin', you know, you're trying to be a writer for films as well. I'm trying to write films, direct films too. You've helped me on a couple of my films and music videos.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I think that's both where we want to end up. So I think, you know, this is not the end of our creative relationship at all, obviously.
Yeah.
But February 9th is
February 9th.
Yes.
So we got a couple weeks.
We do. But this is not the end of our relationship as a creative duo, obviously. But we could probably be doing a little bit more than this podcast, you know what I'm saying?
At the very least for me, like I did YouTube for a little bit, and like it wasn't for me really.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you asked me to do this, I was super stoked, you know.
We were very excited when we first started doing it. But after a year of doing it with little to no traction, you start to lose your passion for it.
Yeah, I mean,
and stuff like that.
At the very least, like I feel like I've gained a lot of experience from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it sucks. If we were gaining traction and we were getting viewers, I wouldn't want to end it. I would want to keep going. Yeah. But at this point, it's just not advantageous to keep doing it, especially when we have other projects that we would rather be doing. So, yes. So, yeah. It's an end of an era.
The end of an era.
Yes.
It's kind of sad, actually.
It kind of is. It kind of is. But we're going to end it with a little bit of hope here. T-Kettle's going to learn how to podcast pretty soon. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to be taught how to podcast pretty soon. And you never know. Maybe when the spark strikes up again, this channel will come back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
We'll see what happens. But it's been real though.
We have to end it with a fucking fat ass.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I mean, technically this isn't our last episode, so we'll end it. We'll end the Oscars episode with that fat ass.
Oh my god, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, dude. You should get Mark.
The heard round the world.
That's right. You should get Mark. I'm gonna try and get the Lit Boys. We should get like a party and like just do it all, dude. And we can all just final at the end.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just have one giant. Let's all go to the lobby party.
But this time we gotta give a small suit. We gotta give like a whisper suit.
That's right.
Ready?
Yep.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So.